There's these comics, they say. Sentinel comics. But I've never seen one. I don't know if they exist. I've heard all kinds of things, but I just don't know. I'm gonna find out more here on the letters page.
How about that?
Wow, that was some amazing trumpet. Wow, cool guys. Talk like this.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know, my wife loves trumpets. I could never make heads or tails of it.
That's just Columbo. It's not really like a noir thing. Columbo's not film noir, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So no.
All right. Hey.
Trevor's like, I think I could play trumpet. We're like, okay, cool. That's enough. We can work with that. Let's go. And we get all this. You get a whole smoke machine just because Trevor wants to play trumpet.
This is all in service of that.
Yeah. All right. No, it works out. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the Letters Page.
How is everybody?
A podcast where we sit in the dark in a smoky room about Sentinel comics.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Christopher.
It is so good to sort of see you.
Yeah,
all.
to sort of see you. We can see you better than you might think, but not as well as we'd like. This is these lamps turned out great too. Oh yeah. Oh hey. You know what? Actually, can you give me like some solid lights? Anybody in Sentinels cosplay? Can you stand up real quick? You guys did a cool photo here, and we were behind there like putting on weird clothes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wow, so many.
You don't need to push that button though. It's a complete. Every time you push that button, what happens?
Someone in Megalopolis blows up.
Oh wow!
Three people out now.
Yeah. Well, if it worked, I can't tell.
Every time I push this button,
I love that this family brought the moon with him.
This is for me.
Yeah. He brought it down.
Yeah.
He has it now. It's
Right.
his whole thing.
That belongs to you.
That's cool. Hey, Paul in the back there.
Yeah.
Is the smoke going out of the room?
No.
Okay. I like the confidence with which you said that. No. Okay. Yeah. Mood lighting. These are super cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody,
for being here.
Yeah.
And now I can't see you anymore. But that's okay. All right. Okay. So.
What did you do? I didn't do it.
Literally could not find you.
Was it my fault this time?
I got some letters here.
What do you? The voice is going to change a lot today. I'm workshopping it.
I got two letters. And the curious thing about these two letters is they were written multiple years apart. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. This first letter here, both of these letters, interestingly also, the mystery deepens. These letters are written they're written on official Megalopolis Police Department letterhead.
Oh, yeah, so it's this one.
Yeah.
How about that?
What is this?
You gotta do the laugh with the toe. That's part of it.
You're killing me.
I would say I didn't know what to expect, but I did know what to expect because I've heard you do these voices and similar things before. But okay, all right, okay. Anyway, I've got these letters. Yeah, like I was saying, letters. Here on this page about letters, and these letters were written multiple years apart, with no seeming connection to each other or any episodes released when these letters were written. They're not about any of that. And I collected them here today. The most recent of these letters is from 2023. But I'm going to read the earliest of these letters first. Hello, Misters Bedell and Rebitaro. On the behalf of the Megalopolis Police Department, I send this letter to ask for your help in an ongoing investigation. I've been told that you are some of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to our universe, and as such, I would hope you have some information that would help me put some pieces together on these older files I'm reading. In particular, this question is about the so-called hero hunter Ambuscade and his rivalry with the hero Haka. I unfortunately know very little about this Ambuscade, other than that he is French, and that he appeared soon after the disappearance of famous French actor Ansel G. Moreau. And then disappeared around the time of the reappearance of famous French actor Ansel G. Moreau, almost as if they were the same person. But that would be ridiculous. On the other hand, my knowledge of Haka is inverse to my knowledge of Ambuscade. I know his origins, where he died, where he came back, and much to the shock of his home village. This implies that despite his strength and invulnerability, Haka can die and come back. Well, like once.
What is dying? The big sleep.
Okay.
The last goodbye.
Okay. This is good. I like this one.
That's the one. We're going to stick with this.
This is a really good one.
Okay.
Yeah. It got Columbo-y there at the end.
No, it's not Columbo.
Okay.
It's a different guy.
What's that guy's name?
Bolumbo.
That's different. I can't, yeah. A particular person of interest started talking about an incident where Ambuscade actually defeated Haka to the point of death and went to celebrate and was later shocked to find that Haka had survived. Has this event happened, at least within our particular spot in the multiverse, or was this guy just blowing smoke and is an unreliable witness? Thank you for your time, gentlemen, and if you're okay with answering more questions from the Megalopolis Police Department, nope, that's not what it says.
What does it say?
And if you're okay with answering more questions for the Megalopolis Police Department, you can expect more emails in the future. Sincerely, Detective Felix DeHaan, MPD. Now, here's an interesting note. I have a button. I'm going to push it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, the letter says, if you're okay with answering more questions from the Megalopolis Police Department, okay. You can expect more emails in the future. And then we never answered this letter. But it's okay. We still got more letters in the future. Anyway, so I guess the question here is...
Has Haka ever...
Can he die and come back?
Can he die and come back?
So he certainly died in his origin.
Yeah.
Okay. There's an interesting distinction. He was killed in his origin. Mm-hmm. He was pronounced dead. I think he was dead. I think he died.
Yeah.
He died in his origin. As it was told, he died. And the explanation doesn't fly in the face of it.
I think for the sake of narrative that we have to say yes.
Oh, that he can die?
Yeah. I mean, that like, but it's not actually...
That is not actually dead, right.
It's like...
So he can be damaged / injured / whatever to the point of this person has died.
Yeah.
But he's going to come back.
Right.
It's not that he just cannot be killed. But is that like, oh no, he can be... For everything you can tell about him, he's dead.
Especially because it goes, 60 years before you have an
explanation,
narrative reason why he
I
can't.
am certain there are explanations that happen in the intervening time that are like, oh, well, because of this and that, and okay. But it's like, no. Somebody definitely tries the Maori stuff like pays off and he can live forever. And somebody else goes like, that's not really how that works, and that's not really what that says. So,
yeah, there are probably...
But so no,
I'm used to it.
But yeah, so I think the answer to the mystery is yes, he can die, but it doesn't take.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't keep.
Yeah, there's probably maybe a big story of of maybe him being like buried alive and then,
sure.
and then like coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
And like that's the whole narrative of the thing. It's like a big famous issue.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a collector's issue. People are like, oh, I want that one.
So in the answer to Felix DeHaan, the detective, your witness wasn't just blowing smoke. Did I search? Did I search the letters page question submission form for the phrase blowing smoke?
Yes.
I did not. I searched for the word mystery and the word detective and found these two letters from times gone by and went, wait a minute, how did these letters get missed?
All right. I have a letter.
And then after this letter, I think we should open it up to some questions to
I think so, too.
see what other mysteries we can unravel.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you
Do we
gonna?
want to have people line up now, or do we want to do
No,
that
no, no.
later?
Because when they line up, they're going to line up at the back of the hall.
Okay.
Because if they line up closer than that, they'll get in the way of the camera.
Yeah.
And that makes Trevor mad.
Right,
And
right,
then, but Russ is back there and he'll direct them. And then, but that's after this letter. And then we'll bring the lights up a little bit so nobody
Trips on things.
freaking dies.
Yeah, we don't want people to croak in here.
That's right. That's right. No frogs.
That will be bad.
It's froggy enough. What voice are you going to do this letter in? Same one?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this one.
Okay.
This is the one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, right.
This is also from Detective Felix DeHaan
Of the MPD.
of the Megalopolis Police Department.
Yeah, we know them well,
The
yeah.
respected institution.
Yeah.
That I have no issues with. I've done nothing that can be legally put on my record by them.
Oh, that's good.
I'm covered.
You're covered.
Yeah,
Which is different
100%.
from
I
being
got an
clean.
alibi. What are you saying?
It's different from being clean. It's not that you've never done anything wrong. It's that they can't pin anything.
Wait,
on
what are you saying?
I'm just asking questions.
You saying I done something? Is that what you're saying?
No.
You got nothing about you. Are you wearing a wire?
Yes. I'm not wearing it so much as.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
This letter says, Dear Adam and Christopher, as a member of the Megalopolis Police Department, as well as other circumstances, I find myself investigating more and more cases and gaining information about heroes and villains and their associated, if more subtle, crimes. Today, I would like to ask you some questions about 4 totally unrelated people. Maya Montgomery, Alfred the Wolfwoman, Tabitha Taft the reporter, and the mysterious Wraith.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated.
Completely unrelated. Yeah.
There have been stories of the Wraith fighting alongside Alpha, and Tabitha Taft has dealt with and wrote on the Wraith. Now, for no clear reason at all, I'm curious about Maya Montgomery's place in this square. Has Maya Montgomery, either during her time in Rook City or after the move to Megalopolis, ever had to deal with Tabitha Taft? Was there ever a time when Taft, say, investigated a possible corruption in Montgomery Industries and confronted her, or some other bit of investigative journalism directed at the Montgomerys? We'll stop right there and answer that.
I think that's a good point. I think it's a good idea. Certainly Tabitha Taft has written about Montgomery Industries.
Yeah, I would
Both
say
positively and negatively. Probably more often investigatively and negatively than positively.
there's probably also like she probably uncovers corruption in like lower executives and like roots out you know, because there's always people like
There might be some sort of like entrapment story where she works secretly with Maya Montgomery to like, oh no, Maya Montgomery gets in trouble for a thing publicly, but they're actually working together in order to reveal who is actually behind it. And so it's like once Montgomery gets in trouble for it,
clear
then,
the name. Yeah.
then we can find out who actually did it when as time passes and somebody tries to step into power. And
Yeah,
that's a cool story.
That'd
That'd be like a late 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say late '80s
Yeah.
mystery comic story
Yeah.
is where that.
Well, because late 80s mystery comics is super in depth in Montgomery Industries stuff.
Yeah.
So
So that's right where that goes.
yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Let me just pull up the spreadsheet here.
You know, if we were smart, we would do that. But
No. We're not. Nobody's ever accused us of being smart.
yeah, no, that's true. And I guess just to cover all the bases, Maya and Alpha, any weird connections there I should know about? I don't think anything will come up, but I'm curious.
Okay, so the question is between Maya Montgomery successful CEO, business person, etc.
Yeah.
And Alpha, the wolf woman, a werewolf who's just doing werewolf stuff, has Maya Montgomery been known to have any dealings with
Known celebrity.
just a werewolf
Just a
who
random
does werewolf
Yeah.
stuff? No.
No.
No connection that I know
I would
of.
say no for that one.
Not really come up? No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was the charity event,
The werewolf ball.
the werewolf ball.
Right.
Yeah, the Maya Montgomery was like, oh yeah, well, we gotta,
Right.
SOW, save our werewolves.
Right. Underprivileged werewolves across the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
need
There's that.
funding.
There's the charity werewolf work she does. But other than that, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for answering these questions. Your answers will greatly help myself and my associates with protecting the people of Megalopolis, the heroes themselves, and the world as a whole. Sincerely, Detective Felix Dahan, Megalopolis Police Department.
Okay, hold on though.
I have a PS also.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. But like, there's no. This letter had very little to ask about the Wraith.
It's true.
Okay.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. Yeah.
P.S. If Tabitha is listening to this, I just wanted to know that begging/bribing a detective to be a quote-unquote +1 to the police ball, sponsored by Montgomery Industries, only to disappear when some thugs attacked and never even reappear. I didn't know you were okay until I saw your article in the news the next day. You're lucky the Wraith and Alpha were here to save the day. Wait, I just realized I've never seen Tabitha in... Nah, that's crazy. Tabitha can't be the Wraith.
Why not? A reporter being a superhero?
I think my
Never
voice
happened.
is just like this now from all the smoke. This is how I talk. That's
All right. Okay. I think we've answered all these questions.
I think so too.
I am excited to have this Detective Felix Dahan of the MPD writing us letters, and I don't know how this slipped the tracks. It is some kind of mystery. Yeah. No. Could have been a musical sting there? No?
No.
Nothing? No? Great. Okay. Oh.
That's my favorite part.
That's my favorite part. Trevor, this is cool jazz. Oh, I like that. That's kind of a flourish. That's good. That's good.
Trevor, everybody. My God.
Yeah. I definitely should have given you more heads up before you read those first two letters, because I assume you would have wanted to play that before you read the letters. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's get a bit more lights, and
up.
I'm gonna just put that away. We're good.
Yeah, I think we're
I think we've got
good on
enough.
fog for the time being. Oh, I'm keeping the hat on.
No, you can keep their hat on. That's fine. That's a song. Good enough. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Greetings.
I
This
can
is
see
fun.
you now. Okay.
This is I can see way better now. Not great.
So yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, if
start.
any of you have any
question.
questions you want to ask, Russ is back there. He has a shiny head, and he is directing you as to where the line is. And the line starts, and the reason the line starts back there again is otherwise Trevor will murder us because the camera will be obscured, and we will be punished for it. So if you want to avoid us being punished, please.
He'll rub us out.
He'll rub us out.
Yeah.
But if you do want, I see. I now, Russ, as you turned around, I realized what was going on with your outfit. Okay, all right. Sorry, you're so far away, and without binocular vision, I can't tell. That's my excuse. Anyway, okay, yes, questions. Let's begin the lettering answering process.
Right. I'm Rhinos, and I had a question. Surprisingly, the wiki is missing information on anything about Archon, and I just wanted to know a bit about what Archon does, and if there's any relation to these existences of places where nothing can exist. And if Archeon's job had something to do with making things exist in those places, and now that Archeon is missing, the absence means that these things exist.
Sure,
I just want to see if there's some kind of link.
Yeah, good question. Okay, so Archaon was a singular entity before it was devoured by Oblivion, and then they became Oblivion. Okay.
Right.
Archaon, there is not, I would say necessarily, that's not true, there is not a singular entity that has anything to do with the places that nothing exists, by which you mean null space. Or null space, there isn't a singular entity of null space. Singular entities are all of something, and null space is specifically of nothing. Archaon...
You can't have nothing isn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's... You can't have
Right.
nothing isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it.
I'm trying.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Arcana. So the thing is, man,
I think there's so little about... I
nothing
mean,
about
that's probably why it's not on the wiki at all, is there's so little about Archeon.
Right. We've
Archeon
ta-
exists to die narratively.
narratively, yeah. So we've told the complete story of Arcan and Oblivion in the Oblivion episodes. I believe we covered it entirely there.
I think there.
All right, there was this singular entity Archaon and another singular entity Oblivion, and entropy devours, and the two of them fight in a way that has never happened before. And so there is this concept that Archaon has been around forever, and that there is a concept of the loss of Archaon is damage to the fabric of reality, but not an idea of like, oh, and before this he had a vibrant inner life with
He had an
family and
apartment
friends. Yeah, he's got some kids from a previous relationship, so he sees them occasionally, but it's touch and go.
Really liked, he collected model trains. Yeah,
Not a lot of people know that one.
Was very into that.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think if we have anything.
No, I don't know that there's anything more satisfactory that we can give you on that, unfortunately. But
Yeah. Archon's just
born to die.
aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've never died before. Never do it again.
Good day, gentlemen.
Greetings.
Good day, sir.
So, I'll spare you the duel offer, Christopher.
Oh, well, come on.
Or bomb?
Smoke bomb.
No, sadly. Actual question, though.
Yeah.
So, Eternus, all-consuming realm, have to
Start
fight
over.
back.
Name?
Mitchell.
Greetings, Mitchell. Thank you so much
Mitchell.
for being here.
Yes.
Eternus.
Yes, Eternus, all-consuming realm,
Yeah.
likes to grab up everything and anything. Except we've seen that the realm of Discord can push back with help.
Right.
So let's just say, is this all-consuming? Is this a one-way street? Is it possible to push back into Eternus and take back from it? Is there a throne of the central realm that might be needed to do so?
A throne of... Oh, when you say a throne of the central realm...
You mean like a throne of Earth dimension, like
Yeah.
normal?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eternus has a throne because it's Eternus. Like, there isn't anything special about the throne of Eternus that makes it like an important point of Eternus, except that Eternus
It's not
decided...
that thrones are inherently important. It's that the throne of Eternus is a manifestation of Eternus's power.
that Eternus as a realm and as a being has
Yeah.
decided that the throne is going to be the avatar of its like, this is who currently has control. When it's really just like Eternus allows the ruler of Eternus infighting for the sake of it creates more torment, and torment is what we're all about here at Eternus.
You could fit so much torment in this baby.
That's right. With each of the other realms, there is the concept that any realm could choose to declare war on another realm and be like, all right, we're going to go fight against this other realm and try to take space from it. But Eternus is the main one that is seen doing so in an aggressive way. We also see the Grey do this.
We do. The Grey is sort of just like creeping, though. It's not like aggressive.
And there's not an idea of like the denizens of the Grey going and trying to take ground. But there is the idea of like the Grey, if it gets into a place, will slowly try to subsume that place into its nothingness that is the Grey.
Yeah. I think that due to the nature of Eternus, that that's why it encroaches more. That it is just like everyone here is super aggro.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Torment.
Yeah, we just if everyone could take a chill pill, please. But so like that's why, and Realm of Discord is too disorganized to like really mount any sort of incursions into anything, which is why heroes end up having to fight back against that.
And it's one of the reasons that Gloomweaver works so well with the Realm of Discord is because Gloomweaver can exist in that chaos. But you don't see Gloomweaver being like, I'm going to take the beings and elements from within the Realm of Discord and use them as my army, because there's just too much Discord. It uses an army from our world in order to do his stuff.
Yes.
So, but still, it's fine to operate from within the Realm of Discord.
Yes.
Sure, it would be a shame and dangerous if someone were to manage to organize and unify the Realm of Discord.
That would be really dangerous.
Yeah, but I don't see how it could be possible.
No, that's
right.
Off the table.
Yeah, it's not like there's two people vying to do that right now.
Right,
Absolutely not.
No,
Definitely not.
I don't
Never
know
heard
what
of
you
it.
mean. Who?
Thank you so much for your question.
You're welcome, and quick shout out to my entire Sentinels group, which is here.
Let's see the entire Sentinels group. Yeah, entire Sentinels group. Thank you for saving the multiverse.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hello, greetings and welcome.
Reminder, if people ask questions, please sit down after you ask the questions. So
Oh no, yeah, the camera. Trevor's gonna murder us with his trumpet.
Hello, I'm Elias Swift, the heir apparent on the Discord.
Hey.
And, I also wrote the Felix DeHaan video.
Oh, did you? Oh my God.
So I guess I'm here as that now.
As Felix DeHaan. Now,
yeah.
here's a question, Detective Felix DeHaan. Were you so surprised to hear your two letters from the ancient past finally addressed here today?
Very much so.
You're like, those just fell into a hole and nobody ever saw them, I guess.
It's fine.
You had
It's fine.
assumed those were gone.
Yeah.
And then we start reading off the. When did you realize that we were reading your letters?
The first one.
But like, did you? When I said this is written on Megalopolis Department?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said
Like,
Megalopolis Police Department letterhead, and he's like, "What?
Oh no.
What? It's finally happening!"
All right. So as we all know.
Hold on, that's not the voice of Felix DeHaan.
All right. So as we know, Baron Blade's father built stuff for the Axis powers in World War II,
Yep.
was killed, and then Baron Blade himself created Morn-Grad as a city-state, or at least turned it into a city-state.
Yeah. Well, really, technically, Baron Blade's father did stuff because in Golden Age and where Baron Blade lands up, Baron Blade's father had to have been doing stuff in World War I.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
And then I believe it is a modern retcon to be like, oh yeah, his dad was
It's
World War
also,
II.
yeah, it's the sliding time scale thing. That's
Yeah,
like-
so originally in the Golden Age, his dad was World War I because by the time we get to World War II, Baron Blade's around.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yep.
modernly, we accept that his father was a World War II arms dealer person.
All right, so in that
Anyway.
case,
Yeah.
the important question is, before we got into the actual continuity stuff of the comics, was Morn-Grad considered like a Red Scare Soviet state, or was it always sort of his own thing?
It was never its own thing. So, or rather, until Baron Blade made it its own thing. So Morn-Grad was a place, but it was a place where there were factories, and this one inventor happened to have his weapon shop, and it was part of the USSR, it was like fully owned, and it had no autonomy, and its people were treated really terribly. And the thing that is where Baron Blade grew up, and his father was the brightest thing to come out of that place, but didn't do much to make that place better. Whereas when Baron Blade had his turning point moment and became Baron Blade, when young Ivan Reitman became Baron Blade, he decided, no, Morn-Grad is now its own place, it's autonomous, and I have all the cool weapons, so come at me.
I don't think we see much of Morn-Grad before that story, though, either.
We don't. But it is there.
Yeah. So we don't really have a solid picture of what it's like before that. We just know, okay, they were owned by the USSR, and then there was this uprising, basically, that Baron Blade said, no, screw you, this is mine.
Well,
Right, and the follow-up question to that,
certainly.
in the present time, because of that revolution to make it its own city-state, how does Baron Blade and Perestroika, is there strife there going on right now? Oh, absolutely.
certainly.
For sure. Lots of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Felix DeHaan of the... It's so cool that my labs people that's here.
I know.
That's so cool. That worked out really well. That was very satisfying.
Yeah, I would believe it if you planned it. Even,
I didn't.
But I know you didn't.
No, it's cooler that I didn't plan it.
It's cooler that you didn't, but I would believe if you did.
Or did I?
I don't know how deep your machinations go. I really don't.
Clearly
I didn't.
We planned it during the Spirit Island event yesterday.
Yeah. Unless I incepted you.
He actually he did tell me that he printed those beforehand.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I don't know who wrote these letters,
yeah.
but I can see all the email addresses of people that write the letters, but I intentionally have that column hidden on the spreadsheet where I get the results. So I see the time and date that the letter was written, the username that you put in, which in this case was Detective Felix DeHaan, and the topic that you set for it, the letter itself, obviously, and the pronouns. Like, I see all of that, but I can't. I intentionally have hidden. I can go look it up if I want to. What email address it came from, so I don't necessarily know because I don't want to. I'm just like, just let the letter.
It's better to guess.
Let the letter speak for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You there with the charming vest. Greetings.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the best podcast. Creators, I'm so glad you got my invitation.
Excellent. We are honored to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
So, I've been here at Gen Con cosplaying as my good friend John Rhodes. I'm sure no one remembers him.
Who? I love the meta layer.
Who's that? Is that from like an anime?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I have a couple stories like that, but no. But my question is related to that. Like, I thought that I had heard originally that after he passed, his memory was still around, but later that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So that's question one. And question two, now that he put that Philosopher's Stone inside of me, would anyone ever be able to remember him again? Because his essence still is somewhere.
Right, but it's just in you. So, like, what you have to do is take something from outside of you and then break it into a lot of little pieces and then make lots of people eat those pieces. And then they'll remember.
I don't recommend that.
Well, I mean, now that I'm at this convention, I can get 70,000 people to remember him.
Yeah.
Great.
They just have to feast on your flesh.
Lunch, everyone?
Boy.
Okay.
That got dark real fast.
You say it's got dark real fast. Have you read any Sentinel comics?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent questions. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to get yelled at if I don't make you sit down. And do you have any other follow-ups?
Yep, that's
okay,
it.
Great. All right. We're going to try to not get in trouble. Wait, I got to answer the questions. Okay, so John Rhodes was remembered or he wasn't remembered. So there is, no one has any memories of John Rhodes, but there's like traces of him around. There's certainly effects that he's had. And we know there are certain elements that are mysteriously around. Like there's the Rhodes Annex.
Right. That's named after him.
That's named after him.
In his honor.
Right. Except people don't remember him.
Right.
So there's this idea of like, oh, well, no, there was somebody, right? There was somebody that did a thing. Like,
yeah. So I believe, I don't know how much of this I want to say though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is the trick. So I
because
think
we definitely have some things planned. We have some things planned with guys.
It's true.
To go forward with that, and some things dealing with the missing memories and missing essences and past of the scholar.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too far into that.
Okay, sure. But we can say that at the point where you're at the opening of Universe One time, there's this idea that no one remembers the scholar. And John Rhodes is a name that some people are like, oh yeah, there was a John Rhodes who did something important. But it's kind of lost to history. Even though the like new building that is named after him is like, oh yeah, you know, John Rhodes, right? That name. You hear the name and you're like, yeah, right?
I also think though that Guys was an advocate for naming it that.
Sure,
very intentionally, that he was like, no, we have to do this.
Yeah, he had to be.
And everyone was kind of just like, yeah, I think we do, but I don't really know why.
Right, people would hear that and he's like, we should really name it after John Rhodes. And they're like, yeah. Wait, but who? I'm sure. But,
yeah.
So because the feelings are overwhelmingly positive that they should, it happens, even though people can't put like a thumb on exactly why or who it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's somewhat of an answer for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Misinformation. How's it going? Very ominous.
My question is, how dare you do this to me?
No, hold on. You did this to you.
No. You did this to me.
You're welcome.
That's how dare. You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Penguin.
Hi, Penguin.
Hello, Penguin.
And my question is, you have a history in your history of bringing LGBT people to the forefront. You have the early tachyon acceptance and push. You have all of these great examples. Are there trans characters in Sentinel comics?
I mean, there have to be, right? So that's the trick. Like in the arc of comics, we haven't told any specific stories. We've told stories that are similar. We've told some fluid stories, but we haven't had like a specifically like, oh, this is the trans character. But there's got to be. You know, if these comics were published from 1940s up to modern day, it doesn't make any sense. There wouldn't be. Like we haven't delved into it. We need to, but we haven't yet. But they've got to be around. It would be very strange for these comics that mirror the real world this way to just not have any. So yeah. So that is certainly a blind spot for us, and one that I think we've been a bit reticent to do it because we're like very afraid of doing it wrong. That like we know trans people. There's trans people that work for Greater Than Games. Jody that I told the story about in the last one. It was okay. No, we've got people, but at the same time we're like, this is an area that we know. We can very quickly and very unintentionally make mistakes that are very hurtful. And not that we haven't made hurtful mistakes in the past. And this is the trick whenever you're creating anything, especially dealing with people's identities and their very personhood and things like this. But it's an area that...
Yeah, also I would say that most of what we work in is previous zeitgeists.
Yeah.
Most of what we've been doing. And it wasn't probably until like the last 10 years or so that was big in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, right. So like, but when we get into the aughts and beyond the aughts, aughts and the teens especially.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something. We've been reticent. That is true. Yeah. So thank you for your question. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Hello, Kyle.
As you've expanded the world of Sentinels on this podcast, has that changed how you view certain auxiliary things that you've made prior, such as the animated universe?
I don't think the animated universe has changed.
Yeah, certainly. Interestingly, certain things that are outside of the normal canon, like within the canon, obviously, we've done a amount of retconning and fixing, and we had some big sweeping changes where we had to fix a bunch of previous work and aim things in the right directions. But with things like the animated universe and other things that are extra canon, sheer force, things like that, we're like, those just stand because animated universe and other like movies, TV shows, that sort of stuff, doesn't have to fit canon particularly well.
That was really refreshing about doing those things is that we don't have to worry about where anything fits because we're doing just like takes on those things.
It starts anew. It's its own canon.
So that doesn't have to change.
I had somebody recently who told me they went back and like had listened to all of the various times we've talked about animated stuff, and they're like, those episodes hold up interestingly because we're just telling the story again in its own way, and that works. Yeah. So I mean, our main view that we have had about like the way our views have changed is like, man, there's the work we did on the animated universe stuff and the stories we've told here on the letters page. It's bonkers that nobody's actually successfully licensed making an animated show of Sentinel Comics. They made a licensed animated show of Exploding Kittens.
Yeah.
The card game.
I know.
And the show is terrible.
It's
very
in talks
bad.
With someone to do
but it never happened
at one point. But
and it's like,
it just fell through.
This is easy. It's easier than that. And,
we were in talks with someone to do it well before we should ever have been in talks with someone to do it.
It's true. Before Oblivion. Like I think it was 2014 or 15.
It was right when I had moved to St. Louis. It was
like 2013, 14?
It was before Jen worked for us.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was like very, very early. I think it was like 2013.
But nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Call me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Hello. Greetings.
Hello. I go by the Pain Train on the Discord.
Pain Train.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I was re-listening to the Enforce Force episodes based on the recent, I think it was the Letos page. You said, hey, go back and listen to some of these. So
Yeah.
listen to them. And Hellion came up. And in the original episode, it said she was imbued with hellish energies.
Yeah.
Has that been retconned to be eternal energies?
So certainly anything that says, oh, something is hellish, and this happens in Sentinel comics all the time, where somebody will be like, oh, this so-and-so from hell. And then people are like, Eternus, right? Like, yeah, Eternus, which is hell. Hell is Eternus, Eternus is hell. There is not a different place.
Yeah, I think that people are still saying, "Oh, it's from hell," and
so
there's
there's some people who are like, "Well, Eternus." It's like that is
right.
the same name.
It's the same thing.
It's a different name for the same place.
Yeah.
So she can be imbued from with hellish energy, but we know that means eternal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, come on down.
Hi, I'm Steven.
Hi, Steven.
I would like to know where and how was the block formed?
So we know that the block was made by Verusiads. Right. Jansa Videro. Oh, I'm being motioned by my helpers in the back that you're not allowed to keep standing. Do you have follow-up questions?
No.
Excellent. Stephen, thank you so much. Take your seat and we will answer your question. Right, Verusiads, Jansa Videro, the Terminarch, who is the last Verusiad from this reality.
Right. We know that her species made many such weird structures.
Right. That they made some interdimensional things. They had an amount of travel and amount of ability to see and move between dimensions. But then they also made some various mistakes and had some things that were destroyed as a result of trying to do things we probably shouldn't be doing, and also can get like lost outside of time space. And the block is a thing that got stuck outside of time space, but got moored in place in a way that it was like, oh, if you try to go to the same outside time place, it works. It's there, and then from there, opening portals to different places became possible.
Yeah, I don't think that we have a definitive origin of it, but it's like that. We have those sort of
pieces.
Yeah, we have those pieces, and then Filter kind of discovered it, and then inhabited it.
The story that I think is worth telling, because I imagine the way that the origin of the block happens is we get the story of how Felix Stone came to be in the block.
Yeah.
And that story would tell the story of like, oh, Filter repurposing it, setting up portals, doing the thing that makes it from this abandoned piece of Verusiad technology into the thing that is known as the block.
It takes a special type of person to find a nexus to all realities and go, I want to make this a prison.
Yeah, Felix Stone is great and not bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is I think the comic that would have happened.
Yeah.
I think it's like late 70s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or early 80s, but like that's the zone.
Yeah, because by the time we get to the early 80s, we know we have some specific Jansa stories that I think would have wanted to be answered by then. But so certainly the block is established in Sentinel Comics before this story.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, let's do this cool like Cosmic Tales or Tome of the Bizarre story about Felix Stone that gives you Felix Stone as a character that gives you the block and explains those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So might be if somebody's interested, that might be a worthwhile topic.
Yeah.
But, all right.
You can submit it.
You can. Next time. Yeah, here we go.
Hello, my name is Conrado. I'm a longtime listener, first-time questioner.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I think I've started listening to you guys since episode 2, and that was thanks to, what's it called? The Sentinels video game. The developer.
Oh, Handelabra.
Yeah, they mentioned your podcast. I'm like, there's a podcast? Like, alrighty, then.
Since episode 2 back in January of 2017?
Correct.
Goodness gracious.
You have been my commute every day for me as a teacher driving half an hour drive to my location. So.
Wow.
We don't put enough episodes to be your daily commute every day. But excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was recently cleaning my comics collection, and I thought to myself, in the metaverse, the Sentinels, the creators of Sentinel Comics, ever do collaborations with, let's say, how Schmarble does it with Schmargit, or She does it with the Nesquik bunny.
Right.
Is there any kind of collaboration there that you might have seen?
So there has to be, right?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned a couple of those before. But there's definitely like, oh, look at the Freedom 5 team up with the 1990s Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, that would happen. Or like, you get Prime Wardens and crossing over with the McDonald's mascot characters or something.
Yeah, there's definitely
Haka and Grimace just shaking hands with the big strong arms. So like certainly those have happened. Where I thought you were going with this is, did Sentinels ever have any crossovers with other comic publishing companies that existed? And that also it definitely would have happened.
There definitely was that too. But
you
those
get the
are
Freedom 5 versus like the
whatever
Earth
the
Prime
other
team or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the other team is.
Yeah. So there's a few other publishers we know. So yeah, certainly all of those happen. I don't know if we'll ever do a writer's room of one of those, because
I'm not
going to do a writer's room involving the Chicago Bulls or McDonald's mascots.
Right.
I don't need anybody to be like,
we're
hey,
not doing
you
the
can't.
Target comics. They're not. And any of those are not strictly speaking considered canon.
Well, and you do, and also we would not. I don't want someone to be like, you don't have the rights to that. It's like, no, of course not.
Yeah, and then as far as other companies, that the work involved in that is make a whole other universe, and then which we've talked about.
We're not above. Given infinite time, which we do not have, it is very likely that sometime in the future, Adam and I will build out the rest of these comic universes, because we keep talking about it and stopping ourselves on purpose. We're not going to do it. Stop it. Don't ask us.
Anytime we have an idea for that, we just put it in a dumping ground document, and we're just we'll look at that.
And it's a thing that we genuinely want
forever.
to do, but it might be outside the purview of the letters page. I don't want to have two podcasts about two different comic book universes, but we might do something else with it. But this isn't a thing that we want people to delve a lot into questions in, just because we are actively trying to not do this.
We're trying to not think about it.
But we have this inclination of want to build out the rest of the existence of the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many pieces that we could just fall down rabbit holes.
Yeah, and there's also things that we want to do. Okay, we're going down the rabbit hole, but
No, do it.
There's things that we want to do narratively that don't fit in Sentinel Comics.
Right.
And that's the big thing.
We've carved out a lot of space in Sentinel Comics. Sentinel Comics does this, but it doesn't really do that.
We limit things with the structure of the universe or whatever, that it's we would like to explore some different venues, but it's not the time.
Yeah, with all our copious spare time, we'll just do that too.
Right, yeah.
But someday, the nice thing is Adam and I are spring chickens. We're young.
Oh, yeah. Got a while left.
At least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And so...
Maybe even 9.
Ooh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Well, you're younger than I am, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
So it's the sort of thing that... Who knows if we'll ever do it in a way that you'll get to see it, but we're probably going to do it eventually. Which isn't very satisfactory, but it is true. It's a thing that, like I said, the most accurate way to describe it is it's a thing we want to do, but we're actively stopping ourselves from doing it right now.
Yeah.
Because we just don't have the time to do it right. And we've learned so much over the process of making Sentinel Comics. And it's not that we want to make a new thing that abandons Sentinel Comics. We want to make more things that fit in with this ridiculous world.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I'm happy to give that answer. But yeah, I don't want to continue giving answers on universes that don't yet exist.
Right. Just because it was a matter of universes outside of the multiverse.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that we at some point in time wanted to mention it on the letters page of hey, certainly we could delve into the idea of what would happen with this and that and the other publishers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to do that on purpose, other than the writing and the history of Sentinel Comics. There's a bit in there about some other things. You will see it eventually, sooner than ever the last time we talked about it, but it's happening. This year has been
there's a minor hiccup this year.
This year's been a bit of a setback for me, and last year in a different way was also a setback for that book.
Hey, those of you that are here can see the scar in person. Also,
yeah, if you want to,
if you want
I
to,
can show you right now. But
Yeah.
it's not really very good. But I can come see me in person if you want to see my scar. I'm happy to show you my ridiculous neck scar. But Anyway, so so things are moving, but they're behind, of course, as it were. But we don't want to get super into those works, those potential works, just because the act of talking about them will make them happen. And we don't have space to make them happen right. So, yeah. But all right. Hello, Mr. Chomp's shirt. This is such a good shirt.
It's from the Redbubble.
Oh yeah, we made that shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
There's some who call me Pricey Provinces.
Hello, babe.
Question about Crisis Man. So do we ever see, or how often do we see Crisis Man selling weapons or death cons to other named villains?
Okay.
Sort of would Grand Warlord Voss consider buying any of that, or is that is Crisis Man too far below kind of his level?
Well, Grand Warlord Voss has basically an infinite conscripted army that is way cheaper.
And he can also just any peoples he conquers becomes part of his army, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know that Voss and Crisis Man would have a crossover. I think that Voss would consider Crisis Man very much below him and be like, oh no, gross. Voss is very racist. Like Voss is like, Thorathians are great, but only some of them.
If you're not Thorathian, then
If you're not Thorathian,
you're not even the
you're not
subpart
even in
for
the
Thorathian.
Right. You know the gross, weird, yucky Thorathians that I will occasionally keep around? You're lower than that. Oh man, Voss is not good.
No.
Like Voss is
he is a jerk.
Voss is a cool villain in many ways. Like he looks awesome and he's got this commanding presence and he's got a high charisma score, but he sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like no, it's not good. There's a reason he got thrown out of reality for a long time. But he's also the inventor of the sandwich bag, so you gotta give him that.
That's true. He invented all sandwich bags.
But Crisis Man. So we definitely see Crisis Man enabling and empowering other villains. Like that happens. I don't know that we see him selling death cons to other villains.
No, those are his.
Like death cons are for his thing.
Yeah.
But you say those are his. We do know he does death con sales to like aliens in space doing aliens in space stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I
think he like hires them out like a mercenary force though, rather than selling
that's
them.
more accurate. That he's more like a private contractor of like
that. There are Crisis Man / Deathcon stories in which he's doing a thing and he's being the villain of that story, but the plot is not one of like, and I wanted this to happen. He's like, I was paid for this to happen. I will make this happen. Yeah. I'm the one making it happen, but I don't care.
Right.
It's just a job, and I care deeply about my job up until it's inconvenient. So.
Yeah, it's about money there. That's like space money.
It's about the accumulation of resources that allow him to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crisis Man is cool.
Yeah.
We have some stories in the 80s that like I was trying to think of how much time he has to cross over with Voss, which is not a lot. I mean, it's over a decade, but it's not a lot at the same time because Voss's stories are very known, you know. But
yeah, but it's a lot more akin to hiring a mercenary company or private security or.
This is the thing that I keep going back to. Voss, no.
Yeah.
Crisis Man and Deathcon's doing something on Doc Thorath in the power vacuum time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
See, this is the thing I was like, there's something there. So.
Yeah, with Voss gone, it's far more likely to see them on Doc Thorath.
Some would-be despot on Doc Thorath is like, Crisis Man.
Yeah, but what if I had these?
Yeah, what if I had these?
Yeah.
And then you could have Thorathian Deathcons.
Yeah, you could.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your question. Hello, greetings.
Howdy, I'm Golf Ball.
Hello, Golf Ball.
How does Filter number the various timelines, and how many timelines have they identified?
Excellent, good question. So, the various... Because we know there's an in-universe numbering system used for the timelines.
Yes.
And people just use it. People are just like, that's the universe, whatever, something. And as if there's like a
1411.
As if there is a central place that has agreed upon, well, this is the way that the universes are numbered. But there isn't, except for outside of comics, but those references make it to inside comics.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're numbered in the order that they're discovered or like utilized. Like in terms of filter.
Oh, in terms of filter.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, they just go down the line.
In terms of like the metaverse, they're kind of numbered a little bit randomly, or like.
There's an amount of also like branching universes create branching numberings.
Right. But like if they go, okay, there's a new universe without a clear branching point, they just go, well, what's a number that fits this kind of?
There's a number that fits it, and they try to put that number also. They try to spread it out an amount to give their space for numbers around it.
It's arbitrary, not random.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily like numerically procedural.
No, but in terms of filter, it
would just be procedural.
It would be. They just go like, oh yeah, this is the order we found them in, and we give them the number.
This is why sometimes there's universes that are numbered in a way that Sentinel Comics like these are the numbers of these universes, and some of those filters numbers lines up with filters like universe whatever number.
Yeah.
But then sometimes a filter will be like doing something in universe number something, and somebody writes in a letter to Sentinel Comics like, excuse me. That is not the number of that universe. Filter used the wrong number. It's like, oh, no, that's because that's Filter's numbering system, which is different from the Sentinel Comics universe numbering system.
We definitely didn't mess up. It's Filter that messed up.
Filter has a different numbering system than Sentinel Comics does.
Right. That's their fault.
It's their fault. The ones that we wrote, that we are responsible for, but it's their fault.
But it's their fault.
That's correct. Hello again. Oh, we have a letter from a phone.
Rhinos here. I just wrote down some notes so I can keep it all track of it.
No worries.
So in episode 35, you gave us over 198 beautiful minutes of exposition on the Sentinels, the Southwest Sentinels.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Southwest Sentinels is episode 35?
Yes.
I think of Southwest Sentinels an episode so deep.
I know. It is.
It was in the first year.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Sorry. We do this, I think, every time somebody names an episode. Especially a two-digit
This is like a bit
number.
now. We're just like, oh, wow, look at how
Episode
old we
35?
are. And look at how many,
Anyway, go ahead.
Shout out to Night Snake debuting there as well. I wanted to know, I know we also got Mainstay with a glorious team up with Stuntman.
Yeah. Was that in that episode?
It was not.
Okay.
It was a separate
I was
episode.
like, surely the Road Warriors story.
No.
That's not in that episode.
Yeah.
Like, how long was the Southwest Sentinel episode? When was...
Still
that's
long.
true. It was very long. When was the Road Warriors episode?
Does anyone know? Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, you don't have to answer. Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
There's also ominous hints to the fate of Medico.
Yeah.
With some Gloomweaver stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Void Guard, and the future just opens up there.
Yeah.
We have been more than patient as Sentinels fans, and I just want to know, I want to speak on behalf of all Mainstay, Writhe, Dr. Medico, and Idealist fans, how much longer must we wait to get more information about them? We've been patient, you've given us so much content, but then it just stops.
It's
Give us
true.
hope.
We haven't talked about the Southwest Sentinels in far too long in the pages of the letters page, as it were. Part of that is topic submission and topic voting. Like, it is the task of the people to tell us what they want. But I will point out, it is a very good point. We have a little list of like how often certain characters get episodes, and Southwest Sentinels are suffering.
Yeah.
We need to hear more about them, and we need to do a better job roping them into stories where there's a topic that is like, it could be anybody. Southwest Sentinels right there.
Yeah, they're kind of victims of circumstance a little bit too.
They're the latest team in terms of near the end, and they are attempted to be disconnected from the multiverse for a little bit. It doesn't work, but that's what the attempt is.
Right. We also, in our universe, in the metaverse, they're victims of circumstance
In
a
what
little
way?
bit. In that, like, we had someone writing an adventure for them for the RPG also, and that fell through for various reasons.
It did. That's true.
And that was one of the earliest ones that we were working on.
Yeah, it was a big one. Yeah,
but some things happened and it didn't come out. So
we will. It's a thing that we will revisit.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing that we have fully in our power to do.
Right.
But it's not going to be done in the same way that it was going to be done.
Right. Yeah.
So, that did put a bit of a damper on that. But that's for going forward. Within the history, within the pages, within the multiverse era, if you will, certainly more Southwest Sentinel stories could and should be told.
Yeah.
So we'll take this as a
we
reminder.
did one not too recently, but like I think last year, right, where we did the there's the Quetzalcoatl story.
I feel like the Quetzalcoatl story is longer.
Was
I
it more
agree.
than
I'm
a
like
year ago?
that was pretty recent, but I think it was probably.
I thought it was last year.
It was 2016.
No,
we started the podcast in
definitely
2017.
wasn't. Wait a minute. I don't know what years are.
I know. But yeah, no, we should get back to that.
Yeah.
We should. There's
Yeah.
so much to do. Anyway, no more time for questions. I'm kidding.
34 was Road Warriors.
30.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
Episode 34.
But didn't we just say that episode 35 was Southwest Sentinels? Yeah. And 34 was Road Warriors?
That's what it says.
What are these idiots doing? Who made this podcast?
The Ambuscade episode had Road Warriors in it.
You were explaining Ambuscade's backstory and then got to the redemption arc and said the pep talk from Mainstay, and here's Road Warrior.
Was it in the... Whoa. Was it in the letters section or was it in the... Road...
Oh my gosh. We just had no rules back then.
Just right.
We're just off the rails.
No, that's a later RPG adventure.
Yeah,
they put out. All right, Phantasma,
Yes.
hit me.
Sorry, I'm also still reeling from the Southwest Sentinels adventure that could, or Void Guard adventure that could have been. I'm collecting my bearings.
It'll happen. It's just it has to happen differently now.
I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's very cool. I know you like this shirt. Hi, my name's Richard, Phantasma on the forums, Discord. So we've had a few questions about Eternus today, and it sparked one in my mind of, we have Eternus, a realm of torture. We also have the host realm, which holds beings that embody human emotions and wills. And is there a host spirit or entity of torture, torment, or even suffering? And what is their thoughts and relationship with Eternus?
Excellent question.
Yeah, that's a good
So
question.
yes, definitely, and also likely multiple. Like one of the things with the host spirit is like Fanatic, the thing that Fanatic was, is not going to be the only spirit of vengeance.
Yeah, I think that we talked about that. Like, there are billions, trillions of host spirit entities milling about the realm.
Right, and
then
you're going to have
some of them dip in to ours, and they move through people, and they go, "Oh, I have this emotion now."
Well, and it's just like the way that Fanatic isn't the only way to express the concept of vengeance.
No,
but it's her
or judgment.
Particular je ne sais quoi. She's
Yeah.
vengeance. She's not judgment.
I thought she was judgment.
She's vengeance. She's judgment.
She's judgment.
She's
Yeah.
judgment. She's judgment.
Yeah, she's judgment.
I'm a crazy person.
I was pretty sure. I was like,
no,
wait a minute.
I've been wrong before. I'll do it again. That's not even it.
She was judging how to cross a road when she died. That's what you said.
Judging.
Yeah, that's
judging how to
true.
cross
It's
the road
true.
when she died. Wow.
Man, I'm just a crazy person sometimes. Listen, life is hard.
But no, it's certainly also not the only way to express judgment.
Right, and that is a better point, since that's actually the spirit that she is. Yeah, that's true. That makes perfect sense. Oh gosh. Okay. But yes, is there one of torment or suffering? Yes, multiple.
Yeah.
And there's going to be those host spirits that then find themselves drawn not to just this realm, but perhaps drawn to Eternus or drawn to the realm of Discord, depending on what that host spirit is. So host spirits can be found in many places.
They're also not as sapient or anthropomorphic as we make them.
Yeah, it's not a realm of.
They don't have as much choice. They have
people. It's a realm of emotions with some will.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 34 was the Ambuscade Stuntman episode.
Wow.
The Road Warrior story was merely a footnote that was a part of that episode.
Jeez.
I feel like we told it in
I feel
longer
like there was like
form,
a
though.
whole one about that though too, but
There wasn't. I mean, unless there was, and my judgment / vengeance is off.
it's an odd way to express vengeance.
Yeah, it really is. Hello. Who might you be in this
Hello.
shirt?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Ferales.
Hi, Ferales.
Happy to be here. I have a question about Fyodor Ramonat.
Okay.
In Burying the Blade, you said there was like a retelling of the origin story of Baron Blade.
Yeah.
And that would also dive a bit deeper into his actual relationship with his father, who you said was not a great person.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you never really tell us what that actually means, like what he's like. We haven't seen any art of it, of the whole Burying the Blade thing. We haven't seen any art of Fyodor, so maybe would you share a bit about it?
Absolutely. Happy to talk about that. Adam will do some art right now for you.
Yeah. Just
how were your travels to come to Gen Con?
Yeah, it's been a long trip, but it's very exciting, and I'm very happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. Yeah. Thank you so much. Fyodor Ramonat was a harsh and uncaring man. He did not care about the fact that he had a family. He had a family, but he was like, whatever.
I think that he cared about the greatness of his line more than he cares about having a family.
He cared about his legacy.
Yes.
Making Ivan so mad at the idea of legacy from the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there is a little bit of Ivan Baron Blade having so much issue with legacy, also seeing the way in which he's like, he projects on him, he's like, you are called yourself your legacy, and you only care about your legacy. Not knowing that, like, that's really not true.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bit of that there too.
Yeah.
But Fyodor Ramonat, he was an inventor. He spent all of his time inventing and crafting and making, and he's like, no one can ever make anything as visionary, as brilliant, as wonderful and awesome and powerful as what I make. So that was also a driver for Baron Blade of like, he worshipped his father. He was like, oh, my father is the best inventor. He's the most wonderful. He can do all these wonderful things. Of course, he never was, didn't have time for, me and my mother, because we were merely like, we were in the way of his greatness, and I support that, and that's why I will be also the greatest inventor, and I will surpass even him. Like, there's some complicated emotions here.
Yeah, and being like, hey, look, Dad, this is what I made. And him going, not good enough.
Not good enough. Right. And he's like, no, you're right. That wasn't good enough. I need to be better.
I need to
be
go
stronger.
make something better. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, not great.
Not great. Not a good father. Not a good man.
I'm not in a position to judge, but I don't do that with my kids.
Interesting. You don't, when they show you the thing they're proud of, you don't smack it out of their hand and tell them not good enough?
I don't do that.
How do you expect them to grow up to be strong then?
I don't know. I didn't think of that. So
all right.
Maybe I should start.
Interesting. But no, that's the wrong lesson to take from this.
No, I'm going to go home and tear their drawings off the fridge. Immediately, that's what I'm doing.
What you do is you whenever they show you one of the drawings, you're like, yeah, look, I drew this, and then I feel
mine
bad.
is better.
Yeah. Great. I don't have time to unpack this. But the other thing that we know about Fyodor Ramonat is that he didn't have any of the Morn-Grad patriotism that Baron Blade did. He didn't care about the place that he lived in. He didn't care about the greater country I was a part of. He was like, I build these weapons because it's the thing that I do best. Mm-hmm. And when they come and they pay me for my weapons, it's like, yes, of course. And then they go and they wage war and kill with these weapons. It's like, yes, good. That is glory to me. Mm-hmm. So the biggest difference between Baron Blade and his father is the thing we talked about recently in the Young Legacy episode, is how much he became a part of Morn-Grad, a thing that his father was never a part of, and it's the thing that his father used. His father was as bad for Morn-Grad as the rest of the Soviet bloc, or more so, because he was specifically exploiting that place, whereas Baron Blade's like...
saw that firsthand.
Right, and Baron's like, I grew up here. This place is as much my family, if not more so, than my father is. Baron Blade's connection to Morn-Grad is a story that we feel really strongly. Like, that's one of our, like familial strong stories that we have a lot of positive feelings about, even acknowledging the problems with it.
He's a really weird villain.
He's a super weird villain. It's great.
Because it's like, on the one hand, you're doing like some super awful things, but you're also like kind of a net benefit for a lot of people.
Right.
And like
you can improve a situation and still not be doing it in the best way necessarily. And he definitely improved the lives of many of the people around him in a way that for them was like, oh, this is great. This is, notable improvement. But there's still inherent problems. But we say that because like, oh, well, because we come from America, which is free and has no problems.
Right, yeah. Freedom equals no problems.
That's right.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
and yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's more information about Fyodor.
Yeah.
And Adam will draw you Adam will paint for you a giant canvas painting and roll it up and mail it to you. Yeah. He's not going to take any photographs or scan or anything. You'll have the original only copy.
Yeah,
So you'll be the only one that knows what Fyodor
Go
Amat
on
looks
writing
like.
those checks.
I love writing checks I don't have to cash. So, anyway, you there with the white hair. Hi.
Hello.
Are you mad at us? Because I feel like you're usually mad at us.
No, I'm not mad at you today.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
What a good day then.
You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you.
This is. Thank you for elevating cosplay. Just great work. It's been so cool to see so many people in Sentinels cosplay because it's such a. There was a time in which it was super active in the mid 20-teens, and then it started dropping off. And then we as a company, it started going into a few directions, and then a pandemic happened, and that really cut everything down.
Yeah.
And so then with the definitive edition and doing Sentinels in the way that is most right for us now, it's so cool to see people still connecting with Sentinels, still listening to the letters page, and then dressing up in these awesome ways with these awesome costumes that
the world is healing.
They are. It's a very emotional thing for us, and
Yeah.
it continues to be so. So thank you for being such a big part of that.
So I actually have, it's a small two-parter.
Okay.
The first part is from pseudonym Herald of Secrecy.
I know pseudonym well.
Yep, who put something on the Discord and asked that someone with a small experience in Shakespeare read it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. Your difficulties mentioned in the show to come up with correct meter and rhyme for Gwydion, his pattern speech does constitute a literary crime. If Fae you accurately would portray when speaking most obnoxiously to men, not just men, mortal beings, as they say, then heed this wisdom wrest from sages ken. Just say whatever gosh darn thing you want. Ain't no one here much like to put on airs. Weird speech is just as vague from someone's aunt as mystic fairy folk in fancy chairs. So now this rhythmic lesson here concludes. The Fae will see you later on, my dudes. So our herald pseudonym requested and provides the opening that's required. For so Discord demands, so shall it be. To Christopher, we have this small query. In care for you, we do this encasing. Sir, did you think this was not happening? Get him!
God. You want me to stand up? Does that make it easier for you? Okay.
For those listening and not seeing the video, Christopher is currently being encased in bubble wrap. He's also been given cookies.
Other than that, it's surprisingly comfortable, and I got a delicious molasses cookie. Is it molasses cookie?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. All the lead up to this, people are like, oh, we're gonna wrap him in bubble wrap, we're gonna get him. Yeah.
Sure, God.
Now, the nice thing about this, with all this bubble wrap, I can do whatever I want.
Backfired.
I'm not going to do it. But what I really want to do is throw myself on the ground. I want to see how it works. I got to test it out. I think it's
So you gonna do the rest of the show like that? Yeah. Okay.
It's surprisingly comfy.
It's like one of those like weighted blankets that you.
Yeah. It's like a thunder shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna do the Spirit Island Mega event this way. It's gonna be great, just all day.
That was excellent delivery on that as well.
Yeah, great job. You should do theater. Have you considered doing theater? Yeah.
You dabble.
Any cool roles coming up?
I might be playing crossover Tempest.
Yeah, in some like little tiny community theater group.
Yeah, just up in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago for some like major theater company.
No, just a little tiny theater company.
Not that little tiny. Okay. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. And also thank you, Fantasma and Penguin, for the excellent bubble wrapping. I feel quite secure. I'm feeling good.
Pseudonym for the start.
Oh, and pseudonym, that's right, for the excellent text. Yes. Thank you.
I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Sometimes I write in as Azrael 2012 Pi.
Oh,
cool. If Sentinel Comics were commissioned to publish a special Olympics issue, and in the issue the Olympics requested that expatriate compete against, pardon my pronunciation, Yusuf Dikek, the Turkish silver medal shooter. Who would win, and which villain would try to interrupt the Olympics during that event?
Oh, wow.
I think the move is to have him win. To be like, oh, she's a good shot.
You
But
do
he's,
that, yeah.
But because it's an Olympics thing, so you have him win. Oh shoot, I meant to talk about this in the previous podcast, which is not very good timing right now, because we talked about this briefly. It came up, and there was this idea of like, oh, this guy's so cool. Look at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't use any of the
Definitely was not formerly a hitman.
But he's a retired sharpshooter, and like, okay, so like there's a reason that he looks so like nonchalant and relaxed. There's also a reason he doesn't use all the newfangled lenses and stuff. But a thing keeps getting glossed over in this, and I'll get back to your question, but the thing keeps getting glossed over in this is that he did amazingly. He shot really well. He doesn't use any of the newfangled gear, and he got silver. But what if he learned and used the newfangled gear? Could he have gotten gold?
Maybe.
This is the thing.
Is the gear impediment to him? Like,
right, and that's the thing. Like, who can say? And every day is different. And
I tell you what, though, the memes of it have been
they're great.
good.
And that's the thing. You like the memes.
Yes.
You like the memes of the people all decked out with their cool headgear, and they're doing and this guy's like, yep, whatever. Boop, boop, boop.
My favorite being the Wales versus free to play.
That's cute. That's cute. But yeah, you have expatriate go up against him, and you have her like sighting down the thing, and you have him beat her, and then you have him like say something like for one eye, good shot. Have you considered holding your shoulder a little lower? And she's like, oh, cool.
Oh,
wow.
yeah,
So
that's
you have
really
like,
helpful. Yeah.
Right. So like where she's.
I think that the villain you have interrupt the Olympics is Ambuscade. You have Ansel G. Moreau trying.
You have Ansel G. Moreau be like, oh no, I'm not here to interrupt and fight you guys. I'm here to take the gold.
Yeah.
I will outshoot you all.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. Although, if it's now, you don't have Ambuscade.
No, you don't.
Right. You still have expatriate, but you wouldn't, and you don't have him do that as like Night Hunter or anything. That doesn't work.
No. I'm trying to think of like who. Yeah, marksman could pull off the shots, but isn't really that a showboat.
He's not ostentatious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have Perestroika.
Be like, we're bringing our team.
Yeah.
To the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah. Perestroika at the Olympics versus various heroes from various places teaming up with famous actual Olympian athletes.
Mecha Stalin's like, I just read about the Miracle on Ice and I'm really pissed about it.
Buddy, catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the funniest sport to have proletariat play as one team.
I mean, you do relay race with him.
Yeah. See,
Water polo?
bobsled's
Yeah.
really good though. A bobsled
Those
full
are
of
Summer Olympics though.
Yeah, but a bobsled full of proletarians.
Bobsled proletarians is fun.
Synchronized
Oh
swimming.
yeah, synchronized swimming. There you go.
See, this thing is
That's pretty good.
there's some good proletariat stuff.
There's some good team wins. I mean, they try to do all of them.
You can.
You can do all of them at once.
Not well though.
No, of course not.
But that's not the point. Yeah, I got it. It's cozy. All right. Are we out of? It's still 12:20. We can do a couple more questions and then we'll wrap up. But yeah, if you
wrap up.
That actually got me. That was good.
Wait, hi, Victor. I'm not on the Discord, but
That's okay.
I've written in questions as cantrip and innocent bystander.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. So I have a question, and you guys kind of brought this on yourselves with the theming.
Oh,
So we all know there's got to be a film noir inspiration, right? I'm not going to ask you guys to write it here because that's way outside the realms of this. But if you had to pick a character that wasn't from Rook City, because those are the obvious ones,
right?
Somebody who wasn't from Rook City to be the protagonist of a film noir inspiration, who would you pick?
Oh, this is so good. This is so good, and this is so much fun because
Not from Rook City.
I
yeah.
just go down the line. The first one that jumps into mind is I love a story where you get the super black and white sketchy style art, but you get this a figure, a trench coat figure with a fedora in the rain, and they're talking and they're going along, and they're dealing with some sort of mystery. They don't know how to get about this. They get into an office. They take their hat off. They hang up their coat, and it's Haka. Haka in a big coat with a fedora, and he's just like, this town.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, because he also has his origins in like the more pulp flavored comics and like the horror issues.
Haka as a gritty detective kind of guy. Like, I like imagining the panels of Haka shrugging off a trench coat and just being like, oh, you're real big. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah. I like a Captain Cosmic, you know?
I mean, yeah, kind of everyone works.
Right.
Like, I do any of it.
Noirverse. Legacy's fine. I think the Freedom Five are less like I can do it.
If I was going to do any of the Freedom Five, I would do Absolute Zero.
Right.
That's the more interesting one to do.
But you say it's more interesting. I think it's the easy one to do.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the one that fits.
Yeah, maybe.
Wraith is kind of easy, but it's too easy.
Wraith,
and
I thought
you say
Wraith
not
is
Rook
the one
City.
that's the easy. Yeah,
but you say not Rook City, and Wraith is Rook City, a hero.
Yeah.
So Absolute Zero is the easy one because he fits the personality type already.
Yeah.
So it's more interesting to take somebody who really doesn't and make them work in there. You got fast talking Tachyon. You know, that's that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm thinking about that. It's more interesting to have the protagonist engage with each of them.
Yeah. Right.
Then
yes. Where you have snippets from lots of people in Sentinel comics.
Yeah.
But you get someone.
Haka seems like the move. Honestly,
He's so
really
fun for
good.
it. He's so fun for it.
Yeah.
And to have him have this thing of like, oh, this city the city always feels so small to me.
Yeah.
Not just because he's big, but also because he's like, I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I'm from a different place, but this is where I got to be now. This is where I hang my hat.
Right.
And you have this idea of him being from another time, another place, being the wrong size, the wrong shape, the wrong face, the wrong color for this place.
It's also like a good-hearted dude in a place full of bad people.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's you have someone shoot him and he's like, again.
Yeah.
Skyscraper.
Oh, Skyscraper's fun.
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper's also fun. Skyscraper like works in his office, and you initially, to the reader's dismay, dismiss her as like she's a secretarial character, but absolutely not. She is like a more main character here. You can even open a thing with Haka and then like have him disappear, and then she's got to deal with it. Like maybe that's a good follow-up story or something to it. Yeah, Skyscraper's fun too. That's another good like characters out of place fit well in noir stories.
She kind of gives like kid detective vibes.
Right. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have that fun to start, but then you can like deal with more stuff that I don't know. That's cool. Yeah. Noirverse done.
Submit it.
I don't think we have a Noirverse, so I don't think that there's a Noirverse to the level of those itches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy, thank you.
I clipped my nails yesterday. It's not-
That's good, though. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I don't think there's a noir verse to the level that there's an extrema verse or an inversive verse or an animal verse. Like,
No,
I don't think
but
we
it could be something that
but a
was dipped into,
story,
yeah.
a story that has hit a couple of times where then you have, like you said, you see cameos from other characters are like, oh, shoot. Some are obvious. Some are on the nose. Some are, oh, shoot, that was so-and-so. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a Haka
Yeah, we can do a desperation
and or
like that.
skyscraper story. It's a noir kind of desperation story. That's cool.
Yeah.
It happens in a dark city or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, we'll work that out
Yeah.
when it's submitted and voted on, which I'm sure will happen now.
Yeah.
Open up document submissions right now.
All right. Cool. This seems good.
Yeah. Do we want to do a last call real quick? Anyone else?
Does anybody have any final
before we-
letters? I think that's not a bad place to end it. That's a
Okay.
cool letter.
Yeah, that is a good.
Thank you, innocent bystander.
Little button.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much for listening, and especially thank you for attending here.
Extra special thank you to our patrons. We could not do this show without you. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/the
letters page. Not letters page. The
letters page.
The letters page.
And yeah, do that, and then come see us next year at Gen Con also.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll probably do this again.
Yeah. This is a bigger audience than we had last year, I want to say, or is the room just smaller?
No, I think it's bigger.
I think it's bigger.
I think it's a bigger room.
I think nature is healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it bigger room than last year?
Yeah, because we were over in the stadium underground, and it was smaller.
That's right.
Yeah, so
That's
this
right.
is
It
a bigger
was.
crowd.
Listen, it's been a year. Okay. I got this bubble wrap. I'm safe now. But yeah, this is always so exciting to see people who at all enjoy any of the things we're doing, because sometimes a little of our work feels a bit like screaming into the void. And we get letters, we get listener feedback, but it's awesome to come and see you guys and see the interest and the excitement and the cosplaying. And we're excited to be here. Next week, no episode.
Yeah, no episode next week.
Well, so hold on. Next week, no episode to you people here in person, because next Tuesday there is no episode. The week after that will be this. But if you're listening to this in audio form, if this is the episode you're listening to for the week, then next week is the live show, is the editor's note. Because we have an editor's note, and and then there's the end of the month, which is the creative process. So next week, if you're listening to this in audio form, you need to vote if you are a Patreon person.
Yeah.
And if you're not a Patreon person, consider heading over to patreon.com/the
Join
letters
up there and
page.
talk with us during the episode, because we're going to be on there right now. So yeah, go.
What was that?
I was saying it fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for listening. Trevor, take us away. Letters Page is brought to you by Greater Than Games. I've been your host, Christopher.
And I've been your other host, Adam.
Music has been recorded and performed live by Trevor Castelline, who also does all of our producing and audio engineering and
putting it on the website and doing all the things.
Doing
anything that we don't do, which is
Not very much.
Everything but talk.
Trevor does all the things.
Yes.
Special thanks go out to you, dear listeners, our Patreon folks, and everybody that enjoys anything that we ever do in the world of Sentinel Comics.
And all you out there in radio land.
There we go. It feels perfect. Keep on saving the multiverse, and that's it. Those are super professional credits.
Let's do an extra special hand for Trevor again, because my God.
He's a professional recording musician, and it is his most popular song.